So you've decided to take the leap to become a loan officer, mortgage broker. Maybe you're coming from retail, maybe you're a new loan officer, or even worked at another brokerage. Congrats, right? But let me be real with you. The first 90 days coming into the mortgage broker side, they're not always easy, and you will be overwhelmed. You will question yourself, and no, you don't magically just start making $50,000 a month just because you now are closing loans. But the truth is, if you know what to expect, if you choose the right place to work and you stay focused, you can come out stronger, smarter, and on your way to building a business that gives you a lot of freedom and the ability to make income that has no cap on it. So I'm going to break it down and help you understand what really to expect in those first 90 days, sometimes up to 6 months as a mortgage broker. And if you're new here, I'm Megan Marsh, founder of Collab and the Collab companies that help loan officers and mortgage brokers find success and reach their dreams in the mortgage and real estate industry. So the experience that I'm going to walk you through in this video, it's for all the loan officers out there, branch managers, and depending on your experience, your expectations, what you've already seen in the industry, and what your long-term goals are, you will all have different places where I will believe you will be the most successful, and you'll all have mindset shifts that you're probably going to need to adjust and things you're going to think about that maybe you haven't been introduced to before. So in this video, I'm not going to talk to any of you who are ready to open your own mortgage business right now, like I do in a lot of the other videos on this channel. This is for anyone who is a loan officer, wants to be a loan officer, wants to get into the mortgage broker side as a loan officer, meaning you do not own the company. The video is about you who need to get sponsored and work somewhere right now to figure out where you're heading. The first 90 days of any transition in the mortgage industry is hard. You'll be doing a bunch of things. You're going to be learning new systems. You're going to be entering into a lot of new relationships, especially in the mortgage broker side, because of the relationships you form with wholesale lenders. You're going to be learning new loan products. Your loan process is going to be relatively the same if you've done loans before, but the devil's in the details, and every company does work a little differently. Sales and marketing will have new messaging, but you're still going to be doing the same activity to generate business. So let's start with if you're a new loan officer. You just passed the NMLS exam. You have never worked somewhere yet. If you're completely new to the mortgage industry, I'm going to give you my take and my honest appraisal on jumping in as a mortgage broker, who I see jump in and do great, and who struggles. So new loan officers that are, excited and you've got your license, you should be excited. If this is going to be your main thing, or if it's going to be an additional business, maybe you do something else and you're adding it on, right? That's going to be a different experience for you. If you are the type of person who wants to know things, right, before you do things, I'm going to say straight up, join a team. Join a mortgage team where you can work underneath somebody. Do not become a loan officer first. The people that do best in this industry in their first year are the action takers. So the people who understand that action trumps everything. If you want to understand each product type, how the systems work, it's going to take you months where you're not earning a paycheck usually in this industry unless you're on a team or you work at the company. And you are going to get really frustrated and almost want to jump out by your 90 days up to your 6 months. You have to be willing to go out and sell yourself in the beginning. And then as you get scenarios, to jump in and learn the things that are put in front of you. Now, if you're an experienced loan officer, you still are going to go through a little bit of the shock factor. Because if you came from retail, your eyes will get opened because no one told you that becoming a mortgage broker meant navigating 20 lenders, learning different guidelines, that there's multiple portals, there's acronyms that weren't used on this side. And in retail, you typically had one way of doing things, a group of products, one loan system, and now it feels like you're drowning in options, and that's normal. This transition forces you to unlearn the habit of leaning on someone always. Maybe it was leaning on a branch manager. Maybe it was leaning on an ops team. You still will have people to lean on, but it's not going to be like when you worked in retail and you had this whole corporate team. If you need that, you need to be very specific about the type of mortgage brokerage you're going to work at. Because when you become a mortgage broker, you're now the captain of your ship. You are independent. You're creating your own business. You're going to have more flexibility, and you're picking your pricing, comparing lenders, reading guidelines, building support systems. It is really important to know yourself as an experienced loan officer with what you want going into mortgage brokerages, because there is no mortgage brokerage that is the same as the next one. There are mortgage brokerages that are honestly very similar to retail, and they're going to have comp plans that are similar, maybe a little stronger than retail, because you're eliminating a middle layer of management and expenses. That's what you want to look for if you liked how retail run. If you're like, I want to make the most amount of commissions, then you want to go to more of a broker branch model where maybe it's a per file, but no, you're not going to get the support that you were used to in retail. And for the most part, the loan officers who go into those models say those first 90 days are pretty tough, depending on who, let's say, your sponsor is, which a lot of companies that pay you the most in commissions, the less that gets taken out, the less support you're going to receive. And that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a preference thing. Most retail companies are similar. Most mortgage brokers are not similar. Even the ones that say branch, you don't have this huge corporate entity. Make sure whoever is sponsoring you is going to be able to provide the things that you want, that you need to be successful. Now, the experience you have at the company that you're going to join, it can be vastly different than the experience that you can have maybe with a brokerage that is more virtual, right? Like, what is important to you? The mentoring? Is it the first 90-day transition? Okay, if that's important to you, for example, the brokers that are in our collab network, they have a Zoom room every day, and experienced loan officers in there for 5 hours, walking new loan officers through what lender to lock with, how to lock the loan, their screen sharing. Then you need something like that. If you don't care and you don't mind kind of wading through the mud, then hey, go to the model that takes the least out of your paycheck. If that's you though, and you want the least out of your paycheck, I would also consider just opening your own brokerage, because I find a lot of those models, you're kind of doing a lot of the same things to then be able to get all of your check. But the experience that you have is really important, because you know that it trickles down to your business partners that are sending you loans. It trickles down to your clients and to your team members. I think for anyone who has been in the industry, one of the number one things you should be looking at is who's going to be your mentor, your coach, and who's going to be the person that's going to be teaching you the things and the mistakes that make that transition really, really smooth. And if you're lucky enough to have a mentor, a coach, listen to them. Try what they're teaching you before you go and tweak it or toss it out. Everyone thinks that they're the exception, but in this industry, mentorship is the shortcut, and it's very hard to find. People will say that you have support or you have this. I don't believe people. I want them to show it to me. And that is why there's so many coaching programs out there, because so many companies lack them. The number one mistake I see for new and experienced people jumping in is analysis paralysis. Loan officers who go into the wholesale, the broker model, they get caught up in trying to master every product, every lender, every tech platform. And here's the truth. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to go to find the answer when you need it, because most likely you're not going to get all these scenarios that you're trying to know right now. Progress over perfection wins every time. And please, do not hide behind tech setup and research. Get on the phone, talk to your realtor partners, call a client. Action cures fear. Do not get tied up behind things. Get out there, get talking to people, and get excited about this change and this transition that you've just made. And for anyone who knows that they want to be a broker owner in the very near future, even the distant future, it's really important too. If you know you want to do it, let's say in the next year, do not go to a company where you can't tell people that's what you want to do. That's when I would say start looking into some of the brokers in our collab network, because they all understand and are accepting and okay with loan officers who want to open their own brokerage. Now, here's a statistic. 45% of loan officers change companies every 3 to 4 years. It's wild to me. And I feel like it's because most people, they don't pick and align themselves with a company or a mentor that fits their long-term vision. So the company they go to really only fits for so long. It's short term. And it just creates this cycle of having to keep doing these transitions. And it's one of the reasons why we built some of the programs that we did and the transition team that we did for loan officers who want to transition into owning their own business, but they never thought they could, or, you don't want to go through multiple transitions. You will lose more money doing it that way. So finding the right brokerage, if you're new, going to a brokerage that has a lot of training, a mentoring program. If you already have experience in the industry, then deciding, do I want a lot of support to really help with the transition? Am I okay being more independent and understanding I'm going to go through the mistakes, but I'm going to get a lot of money, so I'll hire the help. I'll go find the marketing that I need. Making those decisions are going to make or break you finding somewhere so you don't have to move multiple times. But at the end of the day, my number one tip is that activity trumps everything, and you have to be in motion. If it's becoming a broker, becoming a loan officer, whatever it is, I just want to be clear. Success in your first 90 days won't come from learning any guideline. It will come from taking action. And most new loan officers, mortgage brokers, I'm using that simultaneously here. If you want to study before you sell, it's not going to work as well. Mortgage is an action sport. And your only real goal in the first 90 days is, I would say, make a list for yourself every day. Talk to 10 people a day at minimum, whether that's your realtors, past clients, your database, people you've pre-approved. You need to build visibility and you need to build credibility for the move that you just made. You don't need to know every product mix. You just need to say, hey, I'm a broker. I have a lot more options than I did before. So let's sit down and see how I can help you. The market is not going to wait for you to feel more confident. You need to build confidence through conversations and the people that are going to be surrounding you. Keep your calendar full and your pipeline will follow, I promise you. Now, another tip is picking a niche. It will be overwhelming. Figure out what you're interested in. I used to love learning more about being a real estate investor and the options that were out there. And that's the beauty of being a broker, is that you can almost help anyone and that there are very niche products in almost any niche you can think of. The danger is you'll want to do everything if you're like me. So you might think you need to master DSCR loans or VA loans or FHA loans or bank statement loans for self-employed or construction, right? All in your first 30 days. Stop. Don't do that. Just decide you're going to pick a niche so that you can really focus on knowing that's your niche and using it in the way that you communicate the value that you're providing out there to everyone. Own your lane. And if it's first-time home buyers, if it's investors that I like, maybe it's that same niche. But whatever it is, you just need to plant your flag in the ground. That's not all you will get in business, but it gives you at least a focus, and then lean into learning those products your first 90 days, maybe one new product a week, right? You just take an hour each week to learn one. And the reason you want to do that is because when you speak to everyone, nobody listens. But when you speak directly to the right audience, they see you, they trust you, and they send referrals when they talk to someone who fits that niche. And this is what separates the brokers who struggle from the ones who scale. Now, you are going to need systems, and not just for loans, right? But for everything, for onboarding new team members, for the marketing that you're going to put out there, for following up, for tracking your goals. And chaos kills clarity in this industry. Even something as simple as a Google Sheet or a Trello board can help you stay focused when you've got a lot going on around you. And lastly, get involved. Make sure that you are in some type of a community. If it's the brokerage that you're in, the loan officers have places that they meet up each week. Make sure you're joining them. Ask questions. You're not supposed to know everything. That's what those people are there for. Surround yourself with others who are ahead of you on the path of where you want to go, and you will get there so much faster. So your first 90 days will test you. You'll feel overwhelmed, unsure, tempted to quit. But remember, confusion is a sign that you're growing, and growth is where freedom lives. So don't chase perfection, chase progress, talk to people, take action, pick a lane, find the right support and people around you, and you will succeed. I am definitely biased. that I think the mortgage broker channel is the place to be. It is where I have found happiness, fulfillment, success in ways that I never imagined when I first jumped in 20 years ago. So whether you're stepping out of retail or launching your own brokerage or just getting into being a loan officer, know that there are other people out there. Know that there are the right companies, the right systems, the right mentors, the right tools and programs and relationships that can help you build a business that lasts. And if you want to explore more, get guidance from someone who doesn't run a mortgage company, but helps people know the best mortgage companies for your stage in the journey, then go down. I have a link in the description and book a call with me, even if it's a quick 5 to 10 minute call where I at least point you in the right direction. Thanks for watching. Let's build a business and a life that you deserve. I will see you guys in the next video.